There is a crisis gripping America, an opioid crisis.
The opioid crisis began in the late 1990s. It began with the introduction of one product in particular, OxyContin. OxyContin is a continuous release preparation of oxycodone, which is the opiate in the common pain reliever Percocet. And the introduction of this product coincided with a campaign begun largely with the pharmaceutical industry, with support of paid physician advocates, to say that chronic pain was an undertreated epidemic, that it was characterized by needless suffering, and these opiates were not nearly as dangerous as we had been led to believe and should be used much more liberally to treat this chronic pain epidemic. So with opioids, by altering your emotional state and putting you in this happy place, affects your experience of pain. But that's also why they're abusable, because that sort of, I feel awesome, I am awesome, everything is settled, everything feels complete. That's a very enjoyable feeling that people are going, why I should feel that all the time? I want to feel that all the time. But your brain isn't set up to feel that all the time. Brain doesn't want to actually feel that all the time. It's not stable to feel that all the time.
But how was a crisis of such monumental proportions allowed to occur?
Well, I think that we needed more accountability to the manufacturers of these medications back then. We needed better research. We needed our government, frankly, to say, we're not really sure about this. We need to put some more research into this and make sure that these studies are accurate. When pharmaceutical companies are creating their own studies, that should have been a red flag. But what should have been done was not putting, the business of medicine so fast. Doctors see patients every 15 minutes. It's easier to write a prescription than really talk to a patient and figure out what's wrong with them. So it's kind of was like a perfect storm of things that went wrong. But we really should have had better accountability on behalf of our government.
How can high schoolers avoid falling victim to such a crisis?
To young people and is just understand that even for injuries that you may sustain, in your sporting activities, broken bones or etc., there is no risk-free exposure to opioids. And that it's the same chemical molecule in oxycodone as there is in heroin, it's just morphine.
But with such a massive crisis, what signs are there for hope?
We need to keep fighting for it and really start educating our physicians and our legislators on really how serious this is. So I'm really thinking that the hope needs to lie in our elected officials right now.
I mean, Minnesota is doing some things right, and like I said, there is this effort now to get the stewardship bill passed to get opioid manufacturers to pay, and we need to support the legislatures who are doing that. And if it passes here, other states will follow, and that's what pharmaceutical companies don't want.